That obviously segues here, Jiizuke, because one of the things that I think actually before the big win streak had fully gotten going, one of the things that started to turn people on Reddit around about you actually was when Doublelift and those guys were looking at your pro view and they were sort of like, wow, he's actually a good player. Like, yeah, Doublelift, you've played in fucking NA your whole career, but yeah, he is. But then obviously when they were all saying on stream, like, oh, she's quite good actually, it made people sort of stop just flaming you. Because before that, you yourself seemed like you were a little bit touchy on this. If people call you a coin flip player, why did that trigger you? What do you think Coinflip player means when they say it? Do you think they were trying to diss you when they say it?
I mean, okay, my take is, I like the only thing that I don't understand is that all these people were pro players in the time, right? And they hated the fuck out of these fucking opinions of people that judge
I'm sure they
the
did,
game
yeah, of course, yeah.
when they don't have inside information. And like for me to see like some games they're saying I'm not grouping, I'm farming too much, this and that, and they don't have the specific in the game, or like they're not even mid laners. It was like triggering me so fucking hard, honestly. But like Coinflip player, I mean, to me, I just go for so many plays. I think my threshold of mistakes has to be higher, no? I just go for so many plays. Sometimes I have to go wrong, no? That's just how it is. It's like,
I actually agree with you. I think it's really unfair to call you a coin flip player because by definition, a coin flip player goes for 50-50s. You go for any fucking red 20s, 2080s. You take them all. Yeah, we take them all here. We just go for it all. You know, let the chips fall where they may.
Well, and also,
you're more like a roulette player in many ways. You know, that's your game.
Here's the thing, Jiizuke. Here's the strategy that you have to employ is that you can't just say I'm not a coin flip player because you have to lean into it. That's how the internet works. Right. So when people called me a Korean dick sucker, I said, no, I'm a Korean fellatio enthusiast. So what you have to say is I'm not a coin flip player. You say I'm a high pressure player. I create pressure zones on the map.
But real pressure, not fake pressure, like Sven. Exactly.
I mean, but anyway, like exactly my point. Like, I mean, we went on an 8-win streak, by the way. Like, it's not like, how can you call coin flip that even? You know, like to me, I'm just. I think I said this somewhere else, but if I do the correct thing 80-90% of the time, why everyone is fucking flaming me for the 10% and never praising me my 80-90? You know. Like you guys remember
buddy.
You guys remember the Sherrook in 2018? Like
yeah, of course.
They were hinting so fucking hard, but at the same time they were smurfing so fucking hard. Like sometimes they just die and they laugh on stage. You know, like I actually took it to hard because I played against them in scrims. We got fucking demolished, and I just learned a lot from it. You know, actually Rookie was really the only mid laner I could. I mean, I solo killed him a few times. He solo killed me maybe the triple, quadruple, but like it was the only mid laner I felt it's so hard to play against. And like after that experience at Worlds, it was like a changer in my playstyle. Like I just wanted to not mimic, but make that experience as much mine as possible. You know.
Well, the reason why people criticize you, Jiizuke, is because they don't see the difference between the way you play, which is one of the most valuable assets to having you on a roster, right? But if the team isn't built properly, because if you, for example, if you die and there's no other pressure or there's no other play being made elsewhere on the cross map, then what happens is you die and then the enemy team just takes an objective, right? And so it looks like you're the problem because you shouldn't have made that play, which kind of is true. You probably shouldn't be taking high risk plays in those situations, but we're not going to change you, right? And you don't want to change you. A smart GM doesn't want to change you because your value is that thing. But what you have to do is you have to create a team that will support that style of play and create pressure elsewhere, because that's been the big difference between this split and previous iterations of EG, is that now there's constantly someone else creating pressure, which either is doing one of two things. It's either you're helping them dive on that pressure, so you're moving to them, or if you're staying in one place, even if you die, someone else is doing something somewhere on the map. Right? And so you dying doesn't mean anything because the way that League of Legends is played right now is around minion wave pressure. So as long as you're actively doing the right thing with the minion waves and playing around that pressure, the disadvantage that you have from dying is very low, I would say.
I think the biggest example is the Cloud9 game. I was Raids and we have a Tristana bot. So the scenario was that we have Herald and Tristana bot and we just killed their bot lane or jungle or something. They are resetting coming from base, And if they don't defend bot, they're losing 3k gold and all the jungle camps. And for me, I decided, well, they are gonna fucking defend bot, right? So I just walk into enemy jungle. I want to dive on a stacked wave top. I just want to dive in, and then Lucian and Braum show up, and I'm like, the fuck is happening here? And then I broke my face rush, tried to run away. They just flash on me. They kill me. Okay, I got flamed so fucking hard for that. But that play just gave 3k gold in the bank of Tristana.
Yes.
3k gold.
By the way, this
this
is what we talked about last week. This is exactly the situation we talked about last week when we were discussing EG.
Got five play, like you cannot trade against Tristana with Herald. You cannot. You just lose. Yep. Like it was just my mind breaking to me because I felt like I was doing the right play. I'm gonna dive Jace and it's fucked, but they have to really defend bot, otherwise they're fucked. And the moment that they decide to defend the play, they just give up the game, in my opinion. Like they just lost on that.
This is exactly the situation that I talked about last week on the show, which is that was the game where Danny had like no kills, but he was up 2,000 gold. And that's what I was saying, is that this is the difference with Danny, is that, you know, he doesn't get a lot of counter picks. He's first picking, but if you pick something like Tristana that can clear waves quickly and can destroy towers quickly in these scenarios, it doesn't fucking matter what happens to you.
If it was Jiizuke on that side, they would have said, Jiizuke doesn't care about his team. He's not playing the game. Just always farming on side. What is this guy doing? Look at him, 0-0-0. His team, I have 10 kills, 10 assists. What's happening? That's what would have happened. But to the other point, also like it's not entirely true that we don't give counter to them, because I wanted to understand that 3 pick on red side is very powerful. Like you can always pick and ban, right? Sure. So like whoever picks on 3 is like never fucked. So and then always picks on 3 most of the time. But sometimes he picks on 2, like Tristana, Aphelios, the champions. But like the power on red side is always 3 and 5, and like also is like. It depends who goes on for 5. It depends as well who can go for 5 based on champion pool, you know. Okay. Like for example, sometimes I get counter where maybe I don't want it. I just wanna pick on 3, you know. It's like sometimes there is advantage in that. But like sometimes I just
I'm not that much of an expert about League of Legends, Jiizuke, so I get lost with all like the red, blue, 5. What starter race in Pokemon would I be, and what evolved champion would it be? Like, you know, that's like how I learn League of Legends. I prefer, you know, the analogies and the references to pop culture, you know. Exactly. I get what you're saying, though. I'm sure, you had some decent picks, of course. Want to see more cool, funny, interesting clips based on topics from my content? Well, subscribe to this channel then, or, you know, be a pleb and don't.